Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Dimitri back again. In this video, we're going to discuss a few things of how to become a millionaire in 3 years. Yes, you heard me right. It's a little bit unorthodox, if you will. And it's really rare to talk about this. But in this video, we're going to discuss, and see if this is true and if it's possible to reach it. So you will be surprised, and like and subscribe down below so to make sure that you're not missing anything. So let's get into it. Right, so we're gonna discuss a few things. So first section, right? So we're gonna discuss, and where we start is millionaire dream. What is that about? So idea of becoming a millionaire in 3 years is impossible. Like, it's not impossible, but so double negative there. But it is possible, but it's extremely rare, like I mentioned before. So why is it rare? Because self-made million, or like, well, I don't like a terminology self-made millionaires, or like, rich people, billionaires and stuff like that, because there are a few things that are like beyond the overall, actions of a person. So, but nonetheless, millionaires don't become millionaires overnight, but there are a few things that people can take and asked in the situation how to become a millionaire. So in 3 years is pretty much possible. So a little bit of background. So Fidelity, right, like that I mentioned before, a few of the brokerage houses, and Fidelity in the United States is a brokerage house that provide good financial services, nothing promotional or anything. So, and Dave Ramsey Solutions, there's another one, great one. So, and they typically they mentioned that typically it takes a typical, and I think I could reference them correctly, but it's about 10-15 years based on the consistent investing, savings, and income growth. So with that perspective, I have a little bit of I'm on a hinge on that, but if you and that takes into consideration a few things. So if you wanna have and a few people hit 1 million in 3 years, usually it's like there are a few specifics that are involved, but if you want to do, you can do like in 10 years and 15 years, but there's some math answer it. So if you want to do 3 years, explosive business growth, which is startups like investment or e-commerce startups, for example, or there's strategic high growth assets investment, and about them from A to Z or whatever, like everything about them, meaning that, let's say, hey, you very 100% maybe, and that's a big if, about Bitcoin or whatever, or like high income assets like digital or whatever. So some asset that has a real growth potential, and that's a lot of good angel investors know about those things, like a specific IPO. There's like situation with IPO, for example, like initial public offering. You hit that, for example, that also good. But there's also another one, which is high income, disciplined saving and reinvesting. So, and we'll go through that, but that can be pretty much in a situation on dream, right? So can it be done? The answer is yes, it can be done. And it can be done sustainably. Also yes. Why? Because we can strategically do some things. We can, possibly, and that's obviously, you need to check it, you need to see it, but you need to consult with the investor or with the professionals on every single thing that I'm talking about here. So this is more or less in the realm of possibility. So, here's the math behind it, right? So, math behind the $1 million, right? So how can you do that, right? So how can you achieve that? So let's break it down. $1 million in 3 years means, right? So you have, or to reach $1 million in 3 years and 36 months, right? So you need to have earn $333,000 per year, $27,777 per month, which is $925 per day consistently over 3 years. And I believe that amounts up to the $1 million over 36 months but correct me if I'm wrong on the in the comments below. But nonetheless, this is what basically, if you do high income jobs in the United States, there are earnings like that. So just saying, so it is a possibility, but it's not a mediocre type of thing. So it's not average, so if you will. Average is a little bit lower than that, so it's about like I would say maybe 50 or 60. That's just my guesstimate, a wild guesstimate. So check information on that. So nonetheless, so what you can do is, first, starting a scalable business, right? So let's say e-commerce, SaaS business, content-based business, like let's say YouTube, whatever. So like and subscribe down below. So, but nonetheless, with the leverage of smart marketing, that can grow exponentially and go very good in the good side of things. So, but they are risky. So, and to be specific, so as I started to reconsider some things, and some like YouTubers also gonna understand me in some things, but nonetheless, so every business has a risk onto it. So, and consider, like, if you want to start a business, e-commerce business, and any type of business really, so there is a risk involved. So that's the catcher there, right? So it will require capital, initial investment. So before you jump into some business, do the research and make sure you can and you will be successful, right? So to understand something, so right, you need to understand the business to enter the business, right? So high risk investment assets, right? So leveraging. So, and I'm so don't like this, but it is a possibility. So I just want to mention it because it's up to you really. So everything that I'm talking about, so go and do research if you like it. I personally don't, because I don't see the physical value in them, only in a certain aspect of like speed and maybe some other things. But again, it's double-sided coin, so to speak. So what I mean by that is the crypto startup, startups maybe, but options also, like it's kind of, for me, it's a little bit I'm still uncertain about certain things. So, but like crypto in that sense, I do not recommend anybody. But if you're going after it, so that's up to you. So, but high risk investments such as crypto, startups, and options that can that they can jump you further, but and again, it's a little bit high risky situation there. And the one that I really like, and that's the third one, is the real estate leverage. My God, people, like I can tell you, I like that so much, because like in a couple of years, actually, like if for certain things, so, and certain specifications, like let's say basically, if the cards are certain right, so you can do pretty much very, very well with the real estate investment, real estate leveraging. I can tell you this much, this is so great. So you can turn small down payments into $1 million like and again, in long-term game strategy and patience, you can come into the really, really good ones, especially if you implement, hey, out of date properties into like rental properties, and then renovate them and just call it a day, man. It's a skyrocketing business, really. So if you find a good location, outdated property, you invest in that, you put some money into it, you renovate that, it skyrocket the profits, and then you sort of say flip the investment, or flip the real estate in that sense, man. It's going to be good. Also, when you start in jumping that, you can also do a development in that sense. So that's pretty good too. So, and that's one of those big ones that the last one is real estate leverage, that really kicks off some things, and I can highly recommend it, because that really pushed me further in my financial journey. So that's all about that section of math behind 1 million. So now section number 3, what actually works. We can discuss this a little bit into it. So what we can do, so what's the truth behind millionaire videos, kids, and all that. So what actually about making money. So keeping and growing it. So if you want to chase that, go, that's up to you, but we're here to make real money and do the real things on it, keeping and growing and things like that. So now focus on increasing your income first. So if there are possibilities, and there are possibilities out there, so and that's my personal thing, so my personal preference. So if you have like been working in a job so for 1 or 2 years, I think, and you have not been receiving increasing your like adjustments on income, increasing in your payments, just inflation wise, because I personally live on the camp where if you're an employer, you're giving people jobs. So my perspective is that, like, hey, there is inflation going on, so at least every single year I would increase all my salary to everybody in my job, in my company, period. Why? Indexing that, or like make indexation or whatever, just basically adjustment to inflation, period. Because why? Because we have inflation, so you have to think about your employees and things like that, so about your folks that work for you. So now if that's not being done, and then like if you're not in that position or whatever, for whatever reason it's not happening, so develop the skills that pay more, and go and learn some things, teach something, tech things, finance things, real estate, sales, entrepreneurship, whatever. So make yourself more more attractive to higher paying employers, right? So in the sense of your knowledge and your skills, your everything that related to more scalable assets, like for employer, for new potential employer. So right, basically if you can get another job and for better pay, go for it. So that's amazing, that's an amazing thing, good thing. So and don't be afraid of it. So it's really up to you. So to fasten your paycheck, pay scale down the road. So sometimes people stay in the same job for over years and years and years, and if you think about it, every year you're earning less if they don't increase your paycheck. So every year you're earning less, even though it stays the same. The crazy part about it is because of the inflation. So but yeah, that's a big topic. So second part, invest consistently, even small amounts, right? So while you're investing that thing, you're investing, and you're growing. So right. 3, avoid lifestyle inflation. What does it mean by that? So hey, I'm gonna go and buy extra luxury car or extra luxury socks for my pajamas or things like that. So this, some certain things and common things. So if you increase your income and then you increase your lifestyle, leisure, and everything like that, so well, what's the point, right? So you're not making the difference in your financial life. So you're increasing your paycheck, you're increasing your spending. So what's the point? So net you're still in the same amount of investing or whatever. So it's kind of defeats the purpose, if you will. So right. So another thing, reinvest profits from any side hustle. Reinvest in where? So if you see a potential in your side hustle, right? So if you see that like a growing part of possibility and things like that, do it, invest it, expand it, things like that. So real side hustle, like side gigs, like businesses, reinvest early profits into the business again, and you will see the growth, you will see the opportunity instead of spending them, right? I mean, you can go and just buy a candy or whatever, so like a cake, whatever, so make it useful for it. But at the end of the day, if you want to grow, you need to invest first. So you give first and then you get back later. One of the interesting unspoken truths right there. So right. And finally, build system, not just goals. Automation is the key. Set up investment transfers. So, and that's actually the good point, that where you're making small investments, so over the time you will see the difference. So if you have a good brokerage, whatever you want to choose, might be like Chase, whatever, so that's a good opportunity. So they will give you calculations and things like that to grow to see the growth over the year, over the months, over the years. So And that's basically the financial, how it works, right? So how you can physically actually do some things, invest consistently, avoid inflation, avoid reinvest profits, focus on increasing income, building the system. So reinvesting profits, I think I mentioned that already. But if you do those things, you will succeed. So right. Another thing, section number 4, mindset shift. Oh my god, man, sometimes I really get scared when people, or like when I get some big chunks of money, and then it's like, oh my god, man, do I really have that amount of money, man? I mean, sometimes, like, really, if you start like working in the area of real estate and things like that, let's say one particular project that comes to mind, like, you know, you bought the apartment, right? You did the calculation, everything is right, so everything adds up and all that, but then, hey, it actually comes to a point when you have to, like, you know, flip the switch, or like, you know, call it a let's go, let's do some work, let's write a paycheck, let's write a check and push it through, and, you know, start working on this, on the project, or real estate, or renovation, on things like that. Man, there are things that I catch my thought process on, like, hey, man, do I really spending this amount of money on this thing? That's crazy, you know, and that big chunk of money. Sometimes, like, I think some moments there are like a 30 grand, like just one scratch and 30 grand done. It's gone. And, like, you know, it's crazy. So what I mean by that is that learning, you know, delayed gratification. So what I mean, like, you need to also understand, like, you need to see yourself as a millionaire. So see yourself as, like, hey, it's a common for me, it's a common, like, I know you're not gonna do it, like, you know, it's not like, hey, I'm gonna go and spend like $1 million right now, like let's go and do it. I mean, you can do it in your mental, like in your mental, basically, castle, if you will, if you're in your inner eye, in your inner understanding. But, like, you have to have that thought process, or that coming out, like, you know what, I'm okay with that. Like, you know, it's like, you know, it's kind of scary sometimes to spend so much money on some things, but at the end of the day, you understand, like, you know what, you're in a position, like, hey, you're gonna spend like millions and millions of dollars, like, you know, it's that amount of money, like, you know, you understand, like, hey, this is a crazy amount of money, but at the same time, like, well, you kind of went there. that's the whole process, all right? So what I mean is that you want to see yourself, if you want to succeed, also you need to understand, like, hey, if you go into that direction, you need to understand, like, hey, you're managing money, you're managing millions, and you're managing billions sometimes, and things like that, before you know it, you're already there. And sometimes, like, it's for me, it was crazy how it's like I saw it, like, oh my god, I'm making those decisions, and it's crazy how fast I got there. So learning delayed gratification, right? So making database decisions instead of emotional ones. My god, man, this is so key, so big one. And staying consistent even when the progress feels slow, right? So, like, if things like get slow, and sometimes they do, and then you're like, I ask myself a few times, like, my god, man, I gotta do something, man, that's crazy, like, do. But then at the end of the day, man, there are days, and there are weeks, and there are months in there involved. So sometimes it needs to grow, sometimes it needs to cook, sometimes it needs to do that. So, and in that case, you gotta learn patience and not get rich fast, but build wealth smartly. So, is it a myth, right? So now we're coming to a point where you're like, hey, is it actually a myth, or is it actually true? So technically, can you become a millionaire in 3 years? Technically, yes. Why? Because realistically, 99% of people is not about speed, about strategy. So now, most overnight, millionaires build years foundation before anyone notices, right? So you gotta have foundation, right? Secret isn't a hidden hack, it's consistently and especially leverage and power of compounding interest. So what do I mean by that? So as we discussed before, right? So one of my key strategies, and like that's like, you can technically you can reach millionaire within 3 years, and I really see it happening, because in a financial situation, in the real estate world is one of the approachable ones that I saw in my lifetime. So in my life situation, where you can actually go and do that and achieve that and succeed with that. crypto and more or less unknown asset, like not unknown assets, but like very high risky assets like crypto options there. But like some people know how to do these things. I'm personally not there, but for me crypto is, I'm so like not into it, because like I know some things and they not know something, but I don't see, technically crypto is crypto. I see the value in it, but I'm not in the place where I see value so much that I put my money into it in that regard. So options, not my cup of tea, but I understand some people do that, and if they do that, that's their business, so let's go for it for them. My key is real estate. I see the asset, I understand the asset, I know what it does, I know how it does, I know how it works. So when you know how it works, when you understand that, you better go with that rather than with the unknown, right? So you better understand when you invest in things. So right, so to answer this question, yes, it's technically possible, and it is possible in the specifics. If you do consistent investing, you do leverage, and that's a big key right there with the making it possible and power of compounding interest, right? So if you found this video valuable, hit like and subscribe down below. So thank you guys for watching again, and turn on notifications so we can talk about this more and in the future. So thank you guys again for watching. Dmitry is out. See you guys next time, and your meetup with the rich man is over. See you guys later.